Melody Diamond is the greatest. 1-800, the number 6, and then Max.
We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
What happens there, Fred? Sometimes we come back and it goes like... Well,
sometimes I don't have the pot quite where it should be.
You know how to do that already. All right. No problem over there.
How would you like to have Fred piloting your plane?
Much better he does this. He screws up here, it's not life and death. You're right. You're absolutely right. Good point. Touche, damn it. Hey, let me get John Bobbitt in here. John Wayne Bobbitt, because I'm running out of time. I got a lot to cover today. You know who else is coming in today? Julie Kavner.
Did you say Roger Clinton was coming in yesterday?
I did say that.
What happened?
Well, Roger's not so reliable, I guess. I don't know. Hey, John Wayne, how you doing?
Schedule, though.
How you doing, pal? Hey, look at that. There's the two lawyers. What are your names again, guys?
Bobbitt.
Mo and Curly.
Mo and Curly. What do you mean? Oh, these guys are top guys. What seriously?
I'm Bob, and this is Paul.
Oh, Bob and Paul.
You know that law firm.
Yeah, Bob and Paul Law Firm. Yeah, I love you too.
You gonna give us an opportunity to plug our law firm?
Sure. You got a 1-800 number? You guys got T-shirts? Thank you. John Wayne, put the microphone. Help John Wayne out there, will you? God's sake. Hey, John Wayne.
After a 40-city radio tour, you'd think he'd know.
Yeah, what'd you do, a 40-city radio tour?
40?
Was it 40 cities?
About 40? Yeah.
About 40?
Yeah, about 40.
No kidding. Hey, lawyers, why don't you you got a microphone over there?
Yeah.
Good, okay. Hey, what do you got there, John Wayne?
I picked just a plaque I picked up in an art show. Art store there. And,
hey, thanks. This is nice.
It says a lot, you know.
It's a plaque of a guy and his penis. It's a statue, like something.
On a stump, yeah.
Oh, look at that. On a stump.
Yeah.
And it's signed John.
I was thinking, well, you know, you got attacked. Well, I got attacked, so...
There it is.
You know, the FCC tried to cut you off, and my wife tried to cut me off. So.
Well, let me just put
that guy is trying to shield himself. But
all right, John, let's get into it, for God's sakes. I mean, you had to be shocked. I know the last time I spoke to you on the phone was before the end of the trial. You had testified, but as you said, wait till you see the end of the trial.
And you were going to come back and testify still.
Right. And you said, hey, you ain't heard nothing yet.
Surprise witness, everything.
Surprise witness, the whole thing.
Right.
And I got to tell you something. I didn't think you needed any of that stuff. She cut off your penis. There was no indication that she couldn't leave. Let's say even if you were abusive. I'm not saying you are or you aren't. I don't know what you are.
Right.
I don't know what you did in the privacy of your house. But there was no indication that she couldn't leave. I mean, she'd come back to you. I thought the case was open and shut.
And all her stuff was gone, you know.
What?
All her stuff was gone.
She was already moving out.
Everything's moved everything out, and she still came back.
She came back into the house. I mean, you're telling me that if a guy took a knife and cut off a woman's breast, well, you can't cut off her vagina, right?
Right.
Well,
how can you do that? You could? Are you saying something, Robin, I don't know? It would be very difficult. It would be a deep procedure.
You have to really know what you were doing.
Oh, yeah. How many guys would know how to do that? I'd like to hear that trial. I cut off my wife's vagina. But let me tell you something. If, let's say the shoe was on the other foot and you had cut off Lorena's breast, although her breast wouldn't fit in a hot dog box when the police found it, which is true.
Hamburger.
All right, okay, a hamburger crate, a hamburger box, styrofoam hamburger box.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. The two styrofoam boxes.
You're cutting off both?
But if the shoe had been on the other foot, John, and you lopped off her breast, I guarantee you would be in prison right now.
Nobody would have believed you went temporarily insane.
Yeah, that's a great defense. Temporarily insane. Now, ironically, you're the guy who got his penis cut off, and you're not in the hospital, but your wife's in the hospital. And she had nothing cut off. Right. And what is this hospital routine? If in fact she was found guilty due to insanity, you're going to tell me they're going to cure her in 10 days?
No.
Well,
and obviously there's something wrong with her mentally. You know, there's got to be something wrong.
But she knew what she was doing was wrong. That's the point.
Or psychotic or something there. I mean, they should be able to find out. I mean,
did you see that crying?
Psychiatrist, yeah.
Did you see that crying routine?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I've seen that same crying before and lying when she embezzled that money from her boss.
God, there's another thing. Yeah, my mother was on Lorena's side. I don't know where my mother came up with.
Yeah, you stay away from his mother.
Stay away from my mother.
She sounds dangerous, too.
I heard about that.
Yeah, well, she's nuts. I said, Mom, you don't know anything about Lorena. I said, Lorena stole money. My mother goes, she did? I go, yeah, you don't even know what you're talking about. I said, this woman has a history of kooky acts, and she blames them on her husband.
But then your mother said, I don't know anything about that. I still am on her side.
Right. Because my mother happens to be right about one thing.
What?
There's been tremendous violence against women over the years. Today I open up the newspaper, and a woman was left in the woods of Long Island.
Yes.
Beautiful young girl, smart girl. Her name is Colleen McNamee. Whatever. Some names are too complicated, but the point is she was a great girl. B-plus student in school. Terrific. And here she is found in the woods. And your heart goes out to the family. And this goes on a daily basis. There is tremendous violence against women. But still, you can't confuse John Wayne Bobbitt's story with these cases. And that's what a lot of women are doing.
Well, they've made him the symbol of every man who ever brutalized every woman.
There's a guy with an interesting history. He served his country. He's not a bad man. He works for a living. I mean, what is this guy? What is he, some kind of terrorist?
So he likes to hang out with the guys. And he doesn't want to stay married.
You weren't on Long Island last time, were you, John? No, I don't want to implicate you on this case.
You could be a little angry. Yeah. Nobody would blame you.
That's right. You didn't go around killing anybody.
I don't want to be married. It's just that,
you didn't want to be married to her.
Right.
Right. Didn't want to be married to her.
So how's it?
We didn't match.
So when you heard the verdict, where were you?
I was in my hotel room with my family,
and you were waiting for the verdict, obviously.
Yeah, waiting for the verdict.
It came in kind of fast. Weren't you surprised?
Yeah, they didn't take very long.
Yep.
And then you were sure they were going to say guilty, weren't you? I was sure.
I was sure, yeah.
We were even having
Did
bets.
you look at the jury when you were testifying? Could you?
Yeah, I looked at them.
And they look like reasonable people?
No, they didn't. No. I'll answer that question.
No.
They looked very dumb, didn't they?
It wasn't the jury's fault.
No.
It was the prosecutor. He let...
No, it's the jury's fault. Let me tell you something. The people who serve on juries are people who have too much free time. Do you understand?
Well, I did hear one of the jurors say that the prosecutor was basically saying, agreeing with Lorena that she had been abused.
Of course, he had prosecuted both cases.
Why don't they let me prosecute? Why don't they let me defend? Why don't they let me do something legally? Because if I was the prosecutor, she would be in prison for life right now.
They'd be building a prison on her.
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I would say. And I keep things simple because the adults that sit on these juries are really, they're nitwits. They really have low IQ. I would say, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what the hell is going on here? We got a girl, history of kookiness, stole, blamed it on her husband. Cuts off a penis, blames it on her husband. She wasn't entrapped. Wasn't trapped. In fact, she left him. Then she came back. How do you leave and come back when a guy's beating you so regularly? How do you do that? That's no woman sitting over there. That's a weenie whacker, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. A weenie whacker. And if you want a weenie whacker, do you want your sons out there with a weenie whacker?
You know what you should do? You walk around with that hot dog box.
Oh, thank you, Robin. See, Robin, you would be at my side. You would throw me a hot dog. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I want you to look at this hot dog box. I hold in my hand. What do I hold in my hands here, ladies and gentlemen?
This is for hot dogs.
Yeah, this is not for penis. Penis. I would have beaten that jury into submission. I would say, how dare you? How many of you on the jury have sons who have a penis?
Penises.
That's right. How many women were on that jury, Robin?
I
5?
think it was it more women than men?
7-5.
Yeah.
7 women.
They were saying you made a mistake by wearing a suit and a tie. Can you imagine that? I read one report. Did you guys see that? They said he made a mistake. He looked too...
Yeah, the wardrobe was wrong.
The wardrobe was right. They got to worry about your wardrobe.
Powerful.
You get your friggin' weenie cut off, and they're worrying about what you should wear to court.
Worried about your tie.
What is you wear a dress to court? Ladies and gentlemen, I was almost a woman. If not for the brilliant hands of my surgeon.
You know what? They liked what Lorena was wearing so much, maybe he should have worn that.
Yeah. You should have come in there like a woman and said, listen, I've been totally emasculated.
I'm trying to learn now how to live as a woman.
I guarantee you, if they hadn't found your penis, if it hadn't been reattached, she'd be in jail. See, everyone's making a big joke out of it just because you got your penis back. And by the way, how is... Oh, well, we'll get back to your penis in a second, but... They say, how is your arm?
Yeah.
You know. But anyway, So you're there in the hotel. You're with your family.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting there watching TV. And what was the reaction in the room?
Just we were like, stunned.
Stunned.
Like wow.
Wow.
In awe.
Because you said, oh, my God, wow. Nobody went through my pain. Nobody felt their penis getting cut off.
Yeah. Like, she got away with it.
Couldn't believe it.
She got away with murder.
I was absolutely convinced that this was cut and dry. There was no such thing as going to jail anymore. Well, the guy who hit the Nancy Kerrigan in the knee with a stick got 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He should be in prison for the rest of his life with Lorena.
He could have pleaded in temporary insanity.
I love these people, though. He says, this was a really bad decision. That's his excuse. I was really misled. I did a bad thing.
Yeah. Now he's a good guy.
My hand,
like a movie star.
I'm going to make up for it by implicating my wife.
Yeah. It's great. You implicate your wife, you get 2 years for doing the most unthinkable thing. And what an idiot. He does it in front of everyone. I do it at the rink.
With a bunch of people who talk about everything.
Yeah. You're going to bump someone off. I don't want to give anyone an idea. But you're going to bump someone off. Do it somewhere in a back alley. You don't do it in a skating rink.
Mm-hmm.
And hire people who can keep their mouths shut. No one go bragging about it the day after.
You can't find anybody who's loyal.
You're talking about people who won't talk.
So what you're saying, John Wayne Bobbitt, is when you heard not guilty that day, you were as numb as your penis.
Oh.
Right.
Now.
Numb.
Number. Stunned. And was there an angry reaction in the room? Did your family start screaming at the set, or
no, just broke down and started crying. My brothers were crying.
Really?
My mother was crying.
You were crying too?
Well, it's my mother. When she starts crying, and then everybody
everyone started crying because
they hugging. And,
really,
like wow, she got away with it.
Unbelievable.
But now she's in that in the hospital.
Right.
So,
you really think they're going to keep her?
That's the thing. It was just she had 4 psychiatrists that examined her.
Right.
And none of them examined me, except for one guy. While I was away, over the phone for 20 minutes, and I knew just by talking to this guy, he was biased. I mean, one-sided from the beginning.
Right.
So whoever talks to Lorena first and gets her side of the story, then talks to me and says, "No, we don't believe you."
Right.
That's the way it is. That's the way the prosecutor thought.
Hey, I don't even care if in fact you were abused. Let's say I believe her. She still should go to jail.
Right.
She took the law into her hands.
She took the law into her hands. And let me tell you something. If I was the prosecutor, had I handled the case, and believe me, I'd be the most vicious attorney on the planet. I would have been some attorney, but of course I never had the grades to get into law school. I was denied entrance. But had I... Imagine me trying to pass the bar. You thought John F. Kennedy Jr. had a lot of tries.
Had you managed to study?
He's on his 9th try. The family is so embarrassed. But anyway, Robin, if I was the prosecutor, I'd have been in front of that jury. First of all, I would have been slicing up bananas, salamis, hot dogs. I would have shown them graphically what had gone on. If he would have taken a hot dog, let's say, into his hand and sliced it
in front of the jury,
then they would have realized the reality of what had gone on in this case.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you something. This is bull. Bull. A baloney. Well, let me say. Never mind that. How's your penis, for God's sake? Are you feeling anything in there or what?
Yeah.
It is?
Feeling a lot better. A lot better. Looking a lot pretty normal now.
It's looking normal? It's not blackened or...
Not black and blue. It's not, the scar's fading.
Really?
You heal very quickly.
You do heal. Thank God you're a quick healer. Listen, man, what is the odds of this guy getting his penis back? This is unbelievable that he has his penis back and it's working.
Well, I'm reading a story there. A whole bunch of stories.
They train you for,
for penis?
Combat stuff,
No, they
brutal, vicious attacks.
Right.
By combat warfare.
Right. Oh, that's true.
They mentally prepare you for it. So that's what got me through it.
The Marines.
Mental strength.
Right.
Wow.
Being a Marine.
Being tough. Let me tell you something. I don't know if I would have been as tough as you.
In Newsday today, they have a couple of stories.
I feel sorry for the next guy it happens to.
Right. Sorry, Robin. What'd you say?
A couple of stories in Newsday today. In Ankara, Turkey, apparently there was a Bobbitt-like case.
Right. You see? You hear what John Wayne said? I feel sorry for the next guy it happens to.
Yeah. Well, they say this woman got angry at her husband because he was running around or something.
Yeah, running around.
Again, it was abusive sex. He would make her have kind of sex she didn't want to have.
Yeah, well, ladies, if you marry a guy, you got to have sex.
Deviant sex, he says.
Deviant, like what?
It doesn't describe the sexual act. She got him drunk.
Deviant sex.
On 4 bottles of wine, tied him up with a pair of tights and a scarf, and lopped it off with a bread knife.
Oh, my God.
She ran away, and he was stitched up in the hospital. But he's not pressing charges.
Really?
No.
Oh, he liked it.
I didn't press charges either.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, why didn't you? I never understood that.
I don't know. That's state press charges.
Oh, the state did it, right?
Automatically.
Yeah.
So
you didn't even have to do that, which is good, because, I mean,
Wow.
what are you going to do, go hire lawyers to go prosecute those
But
things?
you agreed to testify. See, a lot of these husbands, like the guy whose wife poured the nail polish on him and lit him up,
Yeah.
he refused to testify, so they didn't really have a case, even though the state had pressed charges. So she got off on probation.
well, it's a very emotional thing. You get your penis cut off, it affects people. It'll affect you differently. Different people, depending on the mental state.
Well, maybe a lot of these guys feel like if they had to go in front of a jury, they were abusive. You went and said, hey, wait a second, I'm not abusive. I want to defend myself. In a sense, you had to defend yourself twice.
Yeah.
You have Vietnam going on in your own bedroom.
I felt like I was on trial again when Lorena was up there.
Right. Well, hey, look. Hey, by the way, at least he had sex at the pay-per-view. Huh? We had a good time, huh, boys?
Yeah.
Boy, you got some piece of ass. I saw pictures of her. I've been going over.
Did you? Nobody told me who it was.
Let me tell you
I
something.
felt sorry for her.
You did?
Yeah.
Why?
Because your choreographer took her off the pageant list there.
Well,
Jeez, I felt sorry for her.
Now listen, let me just say something.
That's why you had sex with her?
Yeah, he had sex with her because she was a piece of ass, is why he couldn't believe it. He was like a movie star walking in there.
You know, it's funny because somebody came up to me and told me that was your wife. All kinds of crazy things. I said, no, he doesn't have another wife.
But wasn't it fun? I mean, seriously, did you have a good time that night?
Yeah, it was great.
It's funny, I'm marketing the videotape now, and I got all the behind-the-scenes stuff, and there you are. You got babes all over you that night behind the scenes. You had girls on each side. He was like a movie star that night. You had to see the backstage stuff. It's wild.
Right.
So
I got to see that.
Did you actually get your shirt ripped off and have to run out?
No.
You didn't?
That was in the paper.
I heard you got your shirt ripped off. It was like girls were clawing at you.
Well, I buttoned my shirt because it was really hot in there.
Did you find
everybody started taking off their clothes?
Didn't you find that there were beautiful women there? Yeah, it was hot. Wasn't there beautiful women?
A lot of friction.
Oh yeah, there sure was. And there were a lot of women who wanted to sleep with you, weren't there?
Yeah.
Yes, there were.
How did you wind up making love in a room where there was another woman who could observe?
Yeah, that was weird, huh? You ended up in there. Man, that's great. You had a great time, didn't you? Wasn't that a fun night?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
The whole show was great.
Thanks.
Are we going to do it again next year?
I don't know. I don't know.
We may not be able to because of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Are we going to do it next year? You got to pull another stunt.
Making plans.
That's right. I hear your brothers are still in Newark having sex. They haven't left.
Did they get anything else pierced before they left?
Yeah, your brothers were going wild. They're getting pierced and all kind of things. It was a sick show.
Yeah, I know.
Behind the scenes was even sicker. So you ended up in the sack, and you were able to satisfy her and everything, right?
Well, come on.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to establish that it's working.
Yeah, that it's not true what Lorena said about you.
Right.
Well,
you are good, and you gave her orgasm.
And you wait till your girl is satisfied.
Right. We ought to have that girl on the show so she can testify that you can give a woman an orgasm.
Well, it's important for all men to know how to give a woman an orgasm.
Have you seen her since, or you guys just had a quick rendezvous?
No, I haven't seen her. I mean, I've seen her in trial. After trial, I haven't seen her at all.
No, I don't mean Lorena. Forget Lorena.
No, I haven't seen her.
Right.
I talked to her on the phone.
Oh, yeah? Look, she was a knockout. Boy, I'll tell you. Boy, oh, boy. Mm.
But you've just come back from Niagara Falls, right?
Niagara Falls?
Yep.
Slowly I turn. Let me take a break, Robin. And we'll come back with the very lovely John Wayne Bobbitt, who wants to pitch you a couple of his T-shirts. He had, New Year's Eve. It was reported that he made something astronomical, like $395,000 or something.
Wow.
But a lot of people called up and goofed on John Wayne Bobbitt.
I had a feeling that was going on.
They called the 1-800 number, but he's got the T-shirt. It's a collector's item. It's $25, helping to pay off his medical expenses and stuff. So you didn't make all the money that they said in the newspaper.
No. I mean, most of the callers didn't fall through, like 90% of them. 90% of the calls. They didn't listen to the information that they needed to get the T-shirt. So
I see. So you had no idea that night you couldn't know.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll get serious about that right after we get back. We'll give out your 1-800 number so that if people want to order the John Wayne Bobbitt T-shirt, have a piece of history in their hands, and you make a little donation here, help the guy out with his medical expenses. What did they total? What was the medical and legal expenses? What was the total?
Medical, legal.
Several $100,000.
Several $100,000.
Yeah. To be able to cover all that.
Is he going to get movie deals or anything?
Yeah, you working on a movie or something?
Deal?
Working on a book, a movie?
Well, we're talking to people about it. It's not the easiest thing in the world for this case.
Can people basically just go out and make a movie about this story anyway? That's the danger of it. That's the problem. So really, there's not all this cash bonanza that...
because people keep saying, he'll make money.
Lorena's free now. You know.
Oh, she's going to be.
What she wants, no?
She's, I think, going to be in a new. She's going to be in a new film. I think she's starring opposite Kevin Costner in a new movie. She's a whole movie star herself now.
I think she's going to be the next Catwoman in the Batman.
Yeah, that's it. They're talking about her as Catwoman. And Michelle Pfeiffer's unavailable.
Thing is, she has rights now to go out and tell her side of the story.
Oh yeah. She's going to be
she's doing.
She's going to be a big star. Wait and see from cutting off your penis.
Yeah, that's sick though, making money on someone else's blood.
She's going to sell fish knives on QVC. You wait and see.
She mutilated me. She's out. You know.
She mutilated. Mutilators are rewarded in our society. Didn't you know that?
Miscarriage.
You hope she has a miscarriage?
No,
I said it was a miscarriage.
Oh, I thought you were getting vicious, and I don't blame you.
Miscarriage of justice. That's what it was.
Well, there you go. All right, John Wayne Bobbitt. Let me take a break here. You're absolutely right. And we're going to take a break, and we'll come back with the 1-800 number. We'll talk a little more. And, Robin, this is a newsmaker segment on our show right after these words.
Hello, my name is Reverend Ernest Ainsley. You're listening to Howard Stern, Devil Man. Be careful, 666. Help us all.
This is Robin Williams. 92.3 K-Rock, New York's only all-classic rock radio station. 92.3 K-Rock, where you'll get the
PFG.
What is this, Vermont Teddy Bear? Vermont Teddy Bear, great gift idea for Valentine's Day. Vermont Teddy Bear has a great new lineup this year with the new 1994 Love Bandit, Cupid, King and Queen of Hearts, and the all-new Fool for Love Bear. Vermont Teddy Bear can customize a bear for your special someone. It's a great... Robin, Valentine's Day, you get one of those Cupid bears or something like that. You love that, right?
I would.
It's a great gift.
Very romantic.
And you know what? It's something different from flowers or candy, and it's so convenient. You pick up the phone, you dial 1-800-829-BEAR.
Just imagine to you what happens to you after you walk in after sending one of those bears.
I hope I want... You want to romance a woman? Forget it. You don't need women. You want to romance a woman, Fred? You send her a bear. I swear, it's cuddly.
Have you ever sent the lovely princess a bear?
He doesn't do anything.
Might be the year.
This might be the year? What a lucky princess.
Yeah, something besides cookie puss this year.
But she might not be home for delivery, Fred. Doesn't she have to waitress? Okay, so...
Can they send it to a restaurant?
Oh, they can. They can deliver anywhere.
All right.
Hey, 1-800-829-BEAR. It's easy. And then there's a hand calligraphy card. It's great. 1-800-829-BEAR.
92.3 K-Rock. We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
All right, we're back. John Wayne Bobbitt stopping by. He's on a 40-city tour.
How did he get that name, you know? It's such a perfect name for the news.
John Wayne Bobbitt? I love it. I wish you dropped the Bobbitt and just be John Wayne. I love it. I love it. John Wayne, the great
Some
Duke.
people speculated that the story wouldn't be as big if he hadn't been named John Wayne.
John Wayne. You know what it is? When you carry the name of the Duke, it becomes a big story. Well, anyway, listen, John Wayne Bobbitt is here to say he's getting on with his life. Yes, he's still selling T-shirts, and why is he doing that? I think he wants to be a T-shirt salesman. He's trying to raise some money for his medical and legal expenses. You read in the paper that he had raised $300-something thousand. Well, that was based on a huge amount of calls New Year's Eve. Unfortunately, most people didn't order the T-shirt, and they didn't make the $25. And if anything, they had to end up spending a lot of money to cover the calls. So what they're saying to you is, if you really want the John Wayne Bobbitt T-shirt, and you'd like to order, it's $25, and he takes the money and he pays off legal and medical expenses. 1-800-942-3377. That's for John Wayne Bobbitt T-shirt, and you saw it New Year's Eve. It's a colorful shirt. It's got the big knife and the woman, the whole thing, and it's a good quality T-shirt, right, guys?
Yeah.
Top quality T-shirt. So there it is. That's the way to do it. 1-800-942-3377. John Wayne here, describing the agony of seeing that Lorena, I can't stop crying in court, Bobbitt.
She could have won an Academy Award for that.
She's a great actress.
She was
great.
I've seen the same thing before. She can cry. anytime she wants.
When you say when she had the incident with the beauty shop and took the money, you said she sat there and cried that time too?
Yeah, well, her boss called me because she found that she was embezzling. She was taking money. She called me up and told me to come to her office. When I got there, her boss was with her business partner, and Lorena was in there. She was crying.
Right.
I said, what's going on? You know, and her boss told me, well, you wouldn't believe it. Your sweet, darling little wife did. And she just told me she was embezzling money. And Lorena would would not admit to how much she took. She'd just sit there and cry and say, no, that's all I took. No, I took a couple $100.
Me no take no money. Me no take no money. Me no take it.
Right. And
I get that. I know.
Her boss was flipping through records.
I don't remember. Me no take it.
I don't remember what I was thinking. It was just pictures in my head.
My husband, he smacked me.
Being a smart businesswoman, she kept records. Yeah. And she went through her records and found all the places where she erased the customer and the missing tickets.
But she cried through the whole thing.
Calculated it. It's over $7,000.
Well,
I mean, and she didn't have the records that she had before. To prove that she took more money.
Do you think you'll ever see her again? You ever think you'll run into her again, this Lorena?
Well, I don't know.
Who knows? But she came back to you before. She'll probably come back again. She says she comes back to guys who abuse her.
I got my name declared. She marked me as a rapist or batter.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no, he beat me, raped me.
Well, from now on, you'll be known as the rapist.
Yeah.
Because, in essence, by clearing her, they say that you're a rapist.
But if, I can get her out somewhere and on a talk show or on your show or whatever, one-on-one, get the truth out of her.
A debate, pay-per-view?
Yeah.
I love
it. Get the truth out of her.
Thank you. Now, let me see. We got the Geraldo fight.
Yeah, when could we schedule the Bobbitt debate?
Can you do the Bobbitt debate the same night as the Geraldo Joey Buttafuoco fight? If you're in on that, you tell Lorena there's money to be made.
I see blockbuster.
I see huge night. I say we do it April 1st.
As long as she don't have a knife.
April Fool's Day. As long as she doesn't have a knife, that's right.
Day.
Yes, it'll be a great day. Well, let me see if I can't arrange that.
Come after you.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, she couldn't find my penis. Let me tell you that.
She's a hostile woman.
Really?
Aggressive.
Really?
Wild.
Well, I see that. I see she's wild. But, okay, look. Listen, now, what are we going to do? We got to get on with our lives. That's what we're here to say. Got to put it behind us. She got off.
They cut her off.
Yep.
Cut her loose.
Cut her loose.
And
we'll see what happens with her and some other guy. Maybe this will happen again. Who knows? But the law...
Yeah, can you imagine Lorena getting married again?
In my opinion, justice has not been served.
She'll screw up again.
Have you had more sex since New Year's Eve? Or you haven't found a girl?
Well, I'm dating a girl.
Are you really?
I'm going out there to her house on this weekend.
A little love, huh?
Take a little break.
Is this one as hot as the one you get hooked up with New Year's Eve on my show?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Sweet girl?
I hope she's a nice girl.
I met this girl in church.
In church?
Yeah, I met her in church.
What the hell are you doing with that?
How many years ago was that?
What is that? Church? You want a hooker. You want a stripper.
No, she's in the medical field. She's a radiologist.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, you met her in the hospital?
Studying to be a therapist.
Did you meet her while you were getting that treatment for your genitals?
Oh, no.
It's just totally unrelated.
I met her after I got out of hospital.
Oh, no kidding? Where'd you meet her? At the bar?
No, in Colorado.
Oh, in Colorado? Skiing?
No, I was at a ranch.
No kidding?
Colorado for like 3 weeks. Just get away from it all, help to recover and recuperate.
Well, you have no problem with the ladies.
Back and stuff,
Yeah, right.
And,
Well, you have no problem with the ladies. He never did. You should see when he was back there.
I saw.
They were all over him like a Tukey bandit.
People who work in this office were all over him.
Yeah. I know. I got that on tape. That's part of the backstage tape.
I couldn't believe it.
You're not kidding. Well, whoever it is you're dating, I hope she has no arms. You'd be a lot better off.
Or tie her up.
And what's it like when you pull down your pants? Right away do these girls want to see it? I mean, are they like, let me see it? Because it's a celebrity on its own, isn't it? Yeah. In a sense. They all look and they try to find the scar, right? They look for it immediately when you're in the sack?
Oh, no. It looks pretty normal.
Yeah. And then they look at it and
they
you
take
go...
it and hold it.
And then when you go,
wow.
Daddy hurts. That's what I would say. Ooh, Daddy hurts. Daddy has a boo-boo. Daddy's boo-boo hurts. That's what I say. I talk baby talk about it. I guess you know. Daddy's boo-boo is bad. Daddy needs to be soothed. That's what I say. I played for sympathy. Ooh, poor Daddy's boo-boo. Daddy's boo-boo needs a kiss. Man.
Well, I'm still not fully back to normal. I mean, it's still, sore. It's not really... I mean, it's almost like it's about 85%
Really?
back to normal.
So you think it'll get full recovery, or you think it'll always be a little problem?
Yeah, it'll be full recovery. I said, well, I don't know, 3 more months.
Yeah, you think so?
You know, it's strong enough so I can really use it, but still.
You have a pump. Oh, you got to play up that boo-boo idea, man. I'm telling you, that's a major friggin' boo-boo. But
that's the boo-boo to beat all.
So when the girl, you know what I'm saying? So the girls don't treat you as an oddity in the sack, do they?
Mm-mm.
You know, they don't say like, you know, hey, let me see it, or let me see the scar, or anything like that. But they're looking, right? They inspect it, don't they? They look, so they can tell all their friends, hey, guess what I saw? I saw the scar.
And most people meet for the first time, they look down, you know.
Right.
John Bobbitt, and they look down.
They look down.
Like they can see something through your clothes.
Yeah,
like X-ray
you're John Bobbitt. They look down. They don't look at me. My face is, my hands are right here, you know. My zipper undone.
Yeah, now you know how women with big chests feel. Yeah. I'll tell you something. I haven't seen your face yet. Let me take a look up. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, you look good.
That's what people are talking about. He is a good-looking guy.
Yeah, you are a good-looking guy. I've been staring at your crotch the whole time. Listen, I don't know how to put this, John Wayne Bobbitt, but you see Fred over there? He'd like to see it. He's a weird guy. Not me. I don't want to see it, but Fred has been begging me for it.
But if you show Fred.
If you show Fred, let me know. Well, I stood in the bathroom next to you. I stood in the bathroom with you. I heard you going to the bathroom. It sounded like everything was coming out pretty normal.
You know, I was in the Cleveland show, and one of my real good friends I grew up with, he showed up, and I went to the bathroom, and he said, he was real curious. Well, what's it look like? And then I showed him. Right. And he started flipping out. Oh, my God.
Really?
I saw the scar. And he just started flipping out.
Really?
And he, like, holding himself and stomping his feet. Oh, my. You know, like,
it's a frightening. Because that's a frightening.
Right. John, you've gotten used to it.
Yeah, John, now what about...
Everybody else is
you're used
out about it.
It's like the first time you see Frankenstein or something. You get a little freaked out. Hey, have you lawyers, have you guys seen it? Has he shown it to you?
No.
You've not examined it?
I haven't asked.
You didn't need it for evidence?
John Wayne, when you go to the... You've been flying around the country and stuff, so when you go to the bathroom, do guys pile into the bathroom all trying to look and see what's going on? Does that ever happen to you?
Are you going into the stall now instead of...
I use the handicapped stall.
Do you really?
All the time, honest.
Smart man. Well, it was made for you. That's right. I use the handicapped stall because I'm so small I don't want anyone to see in it. That's the most embarrassing thing. I haven't had my penis cut off, and I'm running into a stall.
People think
you don't have to worry about that.
No, I don't.
Unless you get those nail clippers.
Seriously? Yeah, right. If a woman had nail clippers, that would be the end of it. But other than that, I'm safe. I'm not kidding. I am so safe because really you could never even get a grip on mine. That's how small I am. I swear. It's true.
Go.
I have handicapped plates. Anyway.
Better being safe than sorry.
You're not kidding. John Wayne Bobbitt, you've been through hell and you've been back.
When will those blood tests be back to see if you're a father?
You know, what's going on with that big case? Now,
No.
Now you got a woman suing you. Right away she thought you had big money.
A week before the trial, she suddenly decides that John is the father.
All right. Well, let's. She says that she was looking for him. She couldn't find him. So did you take the blood test?
Yeah, I took the blood test, and I think in a month. I don't know.
Well, is it even possible that John Wayne's the father? I mean, is it possible, John Wayne?
It's possible.
It is possible.
So, when I left my wife for over a year, I dated this girl, and
there's nothing wrong with that.
I was working at a club. I was,
you had a little sex.
A lot of, different girls. I mean,
how was she? She was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had some sex with her, and it's possible.
Yeah.
Just that you hadn't heard from her from a year, and I guess so now you'll find out.
Yeah.
And if you're the dad, you're the dad.
Yeah. But, that's why I'm skeptical that even if it's mine because. Apparently she said that somebody else got her pregnant.
Oh, she did?
A real good friend of mine.
Really? A guy you know. So you don't even know.
This girl slept around, and I didn't know it. I mean, and then she came to me, she said, apparently I got...
Well, if she did sleep around, as you say, which we don't know, but if she did, it's all right. It's still possible you could be the father.
Right.
Did you wear rubber?
No, I didn't know.
So it's possible.
John, you have to understand that there's something out here now that you really should try to avoid. You have to practice safe sex.
Yes, you do, because of AIDS, John Wayne.
Yeah, I know.
Have you heard about that?
Yeah, my lawyers informed me and gave me long lectures.
Thank God you have lawyers.
Lots of classes.
Right.
I mean, and they buy me them all the time.
Really? They do buy you condoms? Yeah. You guys are good attorneys.
They want to make sure that if I'm going to be having
your problem is
sex,
either your genitals don't work or they work too well. That is your problem.
Right.
That's it.
Yes.
You need safe sex, safe marriage. You need it all. You got to practice everything. They're being safe for you, which is
better
good.
be safe than sorry.
Let me tell you something. Now, this might be unorthodox. I don't know if this is part of the legal profession. You guys should be in the room while he's having sex.
Yeah. You're doing it wrong.
You guys need to be around. Well, it's good you got lawyers.
He's invited us before.
Well, anyway, John Wayne Bobbitt. I see you guys have stuck with John Wayne, though. You stood by his side the whole time you attorneys there, so that's commendable.
Just like you said, Bob, I think.
Yes, I certainly did, and I still do, even though my mother doesn't want me to. But I'm 40 years old, and I'll do what I want.
You're a rebel.
You hear that, Mommy? Even though I hear your voice in the head, Mother, 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 I hear that voice. I want to do my own thing.
Yeah, these guys have been with me ever since I was in the hospital. They're in critical care.
They have been very nice to you. Most lawyers are scavengers, are creeps, blood-sucking hounds. They seem to, sorry guys.
That's okay, I agree with you.
Not a big fan of your profession. I believe your profession has ruined this country.
No question.
But no offense to you guys. I mean, don't take it personally.
It wasn't you.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. Your lawyers are nice. You're nice scavengers. How's that? No, you're nice guys. And you've stuck by John Wayne Bobbitt. And, by the way, legal bills don't come cheap, and neither do medical bills. Oh, look at this. On our line, on our newsmaker line, Rob.
Yes.
As John Wayne, I was just about to wrap things up, but here is a friend of Lorena's who testified at the trial and wants to yell at John. Well, John, maybe this is your chance to say a few things. Let's see who it is. Hello, you're on the air. Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Now, you say you were at the trial.
Yes.
You were a witness.
Yes.
Now, who are you?
My name is Bobby.
Bobby?
Yes.
You know her, John Wayne?
Yes, he knows me.
I mean, I think I met her in the first part of our marriage, and we were, I don't know, she has a sister.
Yes.
Yes, that's the one with
Terry.
Terry, yeah.
All right. Now, did you, were you in the bedroom with John Wayne Bobbitt when
no,
he was
no,
he?
And I'm not gonna say any of that. I think that what I mainly want to say is John, maybe what Lorena did wasn't right. Maybe she shouldn't have taken the law into her own hands. But John wasn't always a perfect, wonderful husband that he claimed that he is. He wasn't.
So let's say he wasn't. So why didn't she leave him? Why did she keep coming back?
Because I guess when you are afraid, you have nowhere to go. She was scared of him.
She had nowhere to go. Why didn't she go to your house? You're such a good friend.
She didn't leave me.
I know
she didn't leave me. I left her.
Yeah, John,
she was a bad person.
She had a place.
Violent. You know, she's a thief.
And John, and so were you.
No,
so were you. So were you, John.
So why was
maybe she
I
was
never
wrong.
hurt anybody.
Did he ever steal anything?
I never hurt anybody. Lorena did all the
John,
hurting.
and I understand that. Maybe you
Janet,
didn't. I know. Maybe you don't deserve what you got. I'm not saying
Of course not. And let me tell you about juries. This is why we all have to be upset.
If it was your daughter, if it was your wife,
if it was my daughter of my wife, I would tell him to leave the guy.
Yeah, you would. But if they didn't, and your daughter came home and she said, "I did this. He's been doing this. He's been doing this. He's been doing this."
I would have said, "Why didn't you leave? You had a whole. The guy wasn't chaining you to a bed."
But you wouldn't want to see her in jail if it was your daughter. And all I'm saying, no.
Let me tell you something. If my daughter cut off someone's penis, and like in this situation, I'd have her committed to a mental institution.
Would you?
Of course.
Would you really?
Of course. What? Just because she's my little darling?
I'm not saying that, but I mean, if your daughter came home and he's beating the hell out of your daughter, and he's
is he beating the hell out of the daughter? And she and I don't know. I don't see the evidence. So why did she come back to him? She left the guy. He left her.
Okay,
did you see him beat the hell out of her? What is
John? If things are so bad,
did you see him beat her?
I saw him push her. I saw him shove her. I saw him throw food.
You know what happened to Lorena if I really beat her?
Bruises. I picked her up at 3 a.m. after, and she's hysterical.
So why didn't you say to her, get away from her?
Why didn't you drive her to another state?
Oh, I did. I told her, you can come live with me. You can do this.
Yeah, so why didn't she?
That's my husband.
Oh, that's my husband.
That's her husband. That's what she believes.
Yeah, but she didn't tell you when she attacked.
Listen, I shoved my wife this morning.
You didn't. I'm going to cut off your penis.
Why did you go back, John?
Let me tell you what's going on. Let me tell you something. You hear what's going on? This woman is very passionate. That's fine.
No one understands this.
That's fine.
It's a lot more complicated.
Can I just say something? Let me tell you what's going on with the jury system in this country. You got these two boys out there, Menendez.
Uh-huh.
After they killed their parents, they came up with, oh, by the way, we were abused. As soon as you say you're abused now, the trial's over. That's it. You got an excuse.
No, and I don't think
now, hold on a second.
Excuse. I really don't.
This Menendez boys, they killed their parents. They had a motive. They had their money. They drove around with the money. I don't know what they had, a sack of money or something. They got money. It was a perfect motive for killing the parents. And then all of a sudden on trial they go, oh, by the way, we were abused.
And I don't think that's...
And what was the abuse? By the way, do you know what the abuse was? Most people don't know this. Robin, I'm going to ask you, do you know what the abuse was?
Yes, I do.
What was the first case of abuse that they said?
I don't know what the first case
You know what it was? I'll tell you, I know.
What's
They
that?
forced one of the boys to play tennis too much. That was the... Let me tell you something.
That can be very traumatizing.
Evidently.
But
Let me
I
tell you
don't.
something. One of the boys was... Now, there's a jury there. I guess they're in a coma. They're a bunch of glums. They stand there. They're in a coma. They sit there, and they go, yes, he is not guilty.
And
He
I'm not
was
saying
abused.
that's an excuse.
Come on,
and there's a
that
lot of
wasn't the
other
only
words.
The other guy,
Yeah.
then they say, well, what was the second case?